We're going to take an overhead kitchen light and turn it into a key light. 3 DIY lighting setups for your home studio. Time for another great giveaway, and we've got 4 of these platypods we're giving away. This is a flat metal tripod you can put your camera on, put a ball head, put your camera down low, put it on a tree, put it on a stanchion at the museum. Got some little legs to pull out here to be able to level it. This is just a great device to be able to have in your camera bag, be able to use in those really tough, tight places you want to get a tripod in, or places they won't let you use a tripod because no one thinks this is one. So get over to theslantedlens.com, sign up to win it. Now, get on to the lesson. Hi, this is JP Morgan. I've got Kathy Nelson here with me. She's got a great YouTube channel called
Ani's House, where I make children's stories come alive for your kids.
The problem she has is lighting, getting the right light to be able to see her in her home studio here. So I went out to the home improvement store and I found some great LED solutions that will help light your home studios. I've done this before with tungsten lights, but today I want to do this with LED lights. What's out there? What's cheap? What's inexpensive? What's a great DIY solution to be able to light your home studio, your setup when you're working out of your house? The reason I've gone to LEDs is because, well, all the reasons are pretty obvious. One, they are low wattage. They are not very expensive right now. If you go to a home improvement center, you can buy some really inexpensive LEDs out there. And they have really pretty good color compared to where they were a while back. So what's the challenge to you when you're doing this? You're trying to do a YouTube channel, you've never lit anything before, you've never done any of this before.
I've never done anything
So
before.
what are the big challenges for you?
Just to make sure there's enough light on my face, to make sure there's not glare on my glasses, to make sure there's not glare on the pages, and just to, make sure my face is lit all the way around so I don't look like, a Halloween spooky character or something.
So if you give a mouse an LED, he's gonna want an extension cord. If you give him an extension cord, he's gonna want to plug it in. If he plugs it in, he's gonna want a stand to put his light on. If you put your light on a stand, he's gonna want you to have a gaffer to be able to run the light. Pretty soon you've got an entire production on your hands. So never give a mouse an LED. So let's get started and see if the little mouse can help us set up 3 interesting DIY lighting setups. All right, so for our first setup, and I have 3 different kind of combinations of LEDs. They're not all completely separate, but I'm gonna work on the key light first. I want a soft source. The biggest problem when you go to the hardware store and you grab a light off the rack is you're gonna get something that's gonna be pretty hard. Well, I was looking for a soft source. So my first thing I got was basically, this is an overhead kitchen light. This is a plastic globe. It's got LEDs that work around all the way around it. It's 4,000 degrees. I've got a piece of PVC. This is 3/4 inch PVC, and the 3/4 inch PVC will go over the top of my light stand. And now it becomes an easy way for me to hang this up as a key light. So I'm going to simply drill a couple holes in this pipe and attach it with a couple of bolts so that I will have a stable key light. I'm using a 1/4-20 bolt, which I always have a million of around here because we do everything in 1/4-20 around here. And so I'm just going to draw a couple of holes on my pipe. I'm now going to drill my pipe out all the way through. So I'm going to slide that bolt through and just put it onto my pipe right there. Now I'm just going to run a nut onto the back of it. It's not going to impede the way the light works or anything that's going on. But now I can put that right onto here. And then we wired it into an extension cord. Now I know this is not OSHA approved. If we were doing this long term, we would get this onto and have a ground with it as well, but we're not doing it long term, we're doing it quickly here. So we've got our kitchen light, which is our key light. Very soft light, it's gonna wrap around Kathy here. I'm gonna pan it just a little bit towards the camera so it doesn't light the back wall too much. But I want something to separate her from the back wall. We've got the lamp in the background, which gives me a great excuse to have a rim light on the camera right side because it looks like it'll be coming from that lamp. So I've got this little guy here. It's 1,000 lumen LED. It's just this Utilitech or whatever it is there. I don't know how you say it. Utilitech. Utilitech. Of course it is. I'm going to plug it in back here. I don't have a stand for it, but I've got a little corner of the bookcase here, so I'm just going to put it on here. Now we see that little rim light on the side of her head. That looks really nice. Yeah, that looks fabulous. So now I'm going to add a reflector just to open up the light in her face. Now I brought my reflector off the truck. I meant to grab a piece of beadboard at the Home Improvement Center, and you can buy beadboard just in the insulation section. You pull the aluminum foil off from it, and it's a great soft styrofoam kind of bounce. It's a beautiful look. If you want to check out how to make one of those, we got a great lesson on that, on how to DIY your own reflector. But anyway, so I'm going to shove this right in as close as I can get it, and just out of my frame. And I'm going to come up, and that should open her face up, and it should be a nice looking light there. So this whole setup here was under $100. It was about $40 for each of the lights, and we had to kind of do a little DIY action on that globes, but a pretty simple setup. If you put a piece of beadboard or foam core here for your fill light, and if you buy 2 stands on Amazon, you're going to end, or B&H, you're going to end up with paying $150 at the most. I'm on a Canon, a 5 Ti. This is Kathy's camera. This is what she's going to be shooting her stuff for her YouTube channel on. And that 5 Ti goes at 400 or 800 ISO. We want to stay at 400 ISO if we can. So let's go on to our second setup here. So this is like an ice light, or it looks like an ice light to me, but it's a 3000 lumens or 3500 lumens. It's that long bar. It does have a bit of diffusion on it, but it's a lot harder on her face. It's just not near as pretty. But in some situations, this could be really interesting. As a light overhead, to give you a really kind of rim light on her would look great. If you want to put it in the other room, maybe to lighten up the other room, there's a $30 LED you can plug in. It comes with a switch, and you can plug it in, and off you go. I took my color meter out, checked this light out, and it's just over 4,000. It says 4,000, but it's about 4,150. Actually, when you start mixing it with the other ambient in the room, it gets to about 4,000 on her face. But this light in and of itself is about 4,150. So, interesting solution, interesting kind of light for under 50 bucks. So, also comes with a little loop up here that hooks onto your stand, so you don't have to have a way to attach it to your stand. So this setup is kind of in the same price range. You're going to be about $150 with the stands and the lights by the time you're done. Of course, the last element I didn't put in yet, and I'm going to keep pushing this in until it gets into the frame. And right there. That's going to give me a nice, oh, so much nicer. That actually softens that light out. What that does do is this light, because it's hard and I've turned it away from her just slightly, I've got it aiming, it's aimed more at me right now. Then it's picking up the edge of this light and it's bouncing all that light back into her face, and it really makes it a lot softer on her face. It looks a lot nicer than by itself. That actually looks nice. Now I got what I think is really an interesting solution, and we're going to see how it works because it comes with LEDs and stands. So these lights I thought were fabulous because they are work lights, LED work lights. They're about $60 each. They come with a stand, which is fabulous. They come with a stand, they got a switch, they don't dim. They're about 4,000 degrees. They're about 3,000 lumens. I checked it with a color meter and it's just over 4,000 degrees, like 4103. So they're pretty darn close. The light in the background is going to be a little strong on her. If you look at the light on Kathy's face right now, if you look in the camera, it's just way too hard. But if I put a piece of diffusion material on it, and that's a few dollars, when that diffusion lays flat against that light, it's a lot harder than I want it to be. If I can push this away from the light and tape it so you get a little bit of an arc there, that's going to fill this entire diffusion up with the light and make it into a much larger, softer source. I'm now going to put the same kind of diffusion on the background. Turns this all into a globe here. It kind of gives us a softer light. And we'll take a look at that, and that should look really nice. So there we have it. 2 lights, 2 stands, $120. And then you get yourself a little cheap stand here with a reflector on it to push in to kind of open up the shadows, and you're good to go. So the amazing thing about this one is that when I twist this off, it's $1/4, which means I can take this light and I can twist it onto the $1/4 on top of my stand. Every manufacturer in the entire world should make everything in $1/4. Okay, so that is a very, very focused light. So they've got a single LED and then we've got a magnifier there, a piece of glass, very rounded. It's going to make it very focused, very hard. I'm going to put a piece of diffusion on it. We turn our little rim light on. Got the little 1,000 lumen rim light back here. And we slide this guy in. You know, it's not bad. It's not bad. In the room like this, I think it really looks good when you have a light that's maybe cool or on her face and a little warmer light in the background with a lamp. I think that gives the image a depth and looks good. So I don't think there's any reason to shy away from that, like you got to match everything exactly. You see it all the time. Little cooler light on her face, little light in the background. The tungsten light gives you a warmth and a depth. All of these we're working with main key light, a nice rim light, and then a fill light. So we've looked at 4 different options for setting up LEDs to be able to light your home studio. I think there's some pretty interesting options here. It was a little all over the place color-wise. So color is always an issue when you're using inexpensive LEDs. But I felt like this one was pretty close, looked pretty good, and also the ones on stands looked very good with that piece of diffusion on it. Those look very nice together. So I think we've given you some options here.
Oh,
that will
absolutely.
be much better for
Yes.
you. Once you get past those 3 things, I think you'll do really well.
Well, you've helped me so much tonight. I can't even tell you.
Well,
Thank
you're
you so much.
very welcome. Very, very welcome. But I think we've got a lighting setup here that'll get her going and be able to help her to be able to do this and have really decent light on her face so that you can see her and enjoy the reading that she does, and it looks fabulous. So.
I missed his ragged breathing, his nose whistling, the scrabbling of his uncut claws. How would I ever get to sleep without Gabe's familiar scary noise?
These are not perfect solutions. These are DIY solutions, which means color could be a little off and there's some compromises you're going to have to make to be able to make these work. But they're very inexpensive solutions, which on a budget will get you up and running and give you a decent image so you can really make your channel or your office or whatever you're working on really work. So leave some comments. Tell us what you are using when you're setting up your lighting, what your challenges are, things we can do lessons on that'll help you to kind of progress and do better as you're setting up your home studios. And also, join our Facebook group, join our different media so you know the things that are going on all through the Slanted Lens. So there you have it. Keep those cameras rolling.
And keep on clicking.
If you love stop motion and you want to learn how to do it, get over to theslantedlens.com and go to our store. We've got a great download there from Tricia Zemp, a beginning download that'll teach you the basics of stop motion, and an advanced download that'll help move your work to a professional level. Or you can bundle the 2 together at a greatly reduced cost. So get over to theslantedlens.com, go to the store, get your stop motion download. Subscribe to the Slanted Lens. We got great things brewing over here.
And be sure to check out Ani's house and I'll read you a story.